Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I am sharing a 1 month update on our homeschool. Okay guys, so we are 1 month into our homeschool. Things have been good. We've been pretty much on track. We are trying some new things, as some of you guys may know. So that has been our focus this month. I ended up changing how I'm planning for the week. I'm just putting my son's work in the week of and putting my daughter's in her own planner. So this is what that looks like. I just kind of jot down the things that she's doing so that she can check it off. And so I'm not even bothering with this. I'm just putting maybe pre-test, tests, scores, and that on this side, so I know and can keep track of what she's doing. But for the most part, she's just following along her own planner. These are just some free planner pages, which I actually really like them. It's just the week of. So then they have your days of the week, whatever class it is, when it's due, which I just have her check off. And then here is a to-do list and also upcoming tests that she could prepare for. Just one page, front and back. So I just did a year's worth of pages, and it's worked out well. I can put the link to wherever I got this. Looks like scatteredsquirrel.com. And this has been keeping her on track to kind of keep things independent, and she can kind of keep going when I'm working with my youngest. So all of my family subjects I'm keeping up here, and I did end up adding some, so I'm using this space as well, like I mentioned in my last video I was thinking of doing. So we finished our Titanic unit. This was a unit I created. I could link the video at the top where I share all the resources and kind of exactly what we would be doing. So we did finish this, and the kids had a ton of fun with it. So our first day of school went really well, went smoothly. We did an art lesson, just introduced some subjects that we would be doing throughout the year. This is a notebook that they decorated on their first day. So I ended up, this is just a 3-subject notebook. They have these at the Dollar Tree. I grabbed a couple of them and put in these little tabs. So I've tabbed the notebook for these subjects we're using it for. So we did our Titanic unit. We'll be doing geography and our science in this notebook. And we just kind of notebooked through the Titanic. And it was a lot of fun. We did pull tickets for the Titanic, and we did find out that all of our people that we had pulled did end up going down with the ship at the end of the unit, which was something the kids were excited to find out, and we just notebooked about that person and about a handful of different people that we were learning about throughout our study. Just watched videos and just really enjoyed it. So now we're going to be starting our science, which is using some of these resources. We are utilizing this to do a life-size body with the parts within it. So we started this yesterday, and it's been a lot of fun, and we are using this book as one of our resources. I have a few other books that we have, but again, I'm making just a lesson plan. So I'm still working on it. I think I got to, I don't know, lesson 30. So we're just following what I've done already to kind of incorporate both kids because they are on different levels. So I'm using various resources for that. So if you want to, stay updated on how that's going, make sure you subscribe, and I will share all that information. But for the most part, all of our family studies have gone really well. We're working on Monet for our artist study, and that's been really enjoyable. The kids have enjoyed that. And some subjects we've introduced were Saxon. So my daughter is doing Saxon 5-4. That's something we decided to try this year. We're using it alongside the Dive into Math videos, and it's fantastic. I absolutely love this math program for her, and I don't know, I think it'd be a great program for my son down the road, but we'll see. But this has been going really well. So basically every morning she does a math fact practice. So we just put the timer on for 5 minutes. This is something she's been doing, not with this program, but we've been doing it consistently for the last few years. So it's something she's used to, and she likes doing the facts practice. It just keeps things fresh in her mind. So that's how the lesson starts. And then we go right into watching a video. And those are done by the people that do Shoreman Math. And it's been really a great fit. So what's nice about those videos, we can kind of ignore all of this. We don't even have to read through this. This is how the lessons are done in Saxon. So you'll have your lesson, your topic, what the warm-up is, and a new concept being taught. All of this is handled in the videos, so we don't have to do that. And then she just works through the lesson practice and the mix practice, which I don't think is too many problems for her. It seems to be a good fit. She just does it in another notebook, so we can, reuse this down the road. So it's been going really well. She just did her first test and she aced it. Now, we probably could have gone into 6-5. When we looked at the testing, a lot of these topics she had gone over. But we sat down and had a conversation, and she said to me, Mom, yeah, I could probably do these, but I really want to understand it, which I found very interesting. And I was like, okay, if you want to go ahead and start with 5-4, we will go ahead and do that. It's her education. I want her to feel solid in the things that she's learning. So this has really worked well for her. And she is now saying that math is one of her favorite subjects. So that says something. And if I'm whispering, I'm so sorry. People are sleeping in my home and trying to be respectful of that. So here we started life packs to try for both children. Now, I will say for my son, I didn't feel like it was working to the best of what I was hoping it would. It just seemed like he was going through the motions of doing what felt like worksheet after worksheet and not really retaining or being engaged. So we decided to go back to language lessons for living education for him. And that was just a recent change. We did take some time to really evaluate it. And it just, with everything that we're doing, I think it just felt better to go back there. And so far that's working well. For my daughter, however, I do like the life packs. She's still evaluating how she feels about it. But it's been good. I mean, there's writing, there's grammar, there's handwriting, Spelling, we're not utilizing the spelling. We're using just a simple word list because, we're not sure about this. I don't have the entire 10 booklet set for this. We're just kind of filling in some things before we hop into the next grade level or what have you. But there's definitely a lot of information in here. It does touch and cover a lot of different things. This is an all-inclusive, so you wouldn't really need to supplement a whole lot, I'm finding. So we ended up taking away the pathway reading that she was working on just because we are doing reads based on the historical time period she's working on. So this is what she's reading currently, The Wright Brothers at Kitty Hawk. So it just seemed like a lot of extra. So we just put that pathway reader in her reading bin for the year, and she can read it at her pace. But that's been going well. We are still just working through these to see how it is exactly my daughter wants to proceed with it. I'm really kind of giving my kids more of a say in what they want to do, and I see the benefit in that because they are more engaged and more excited to do the work. So this is the Bible resource we're using. She's going through Proverbs. This has been good. It's giving her a lot of extra practice with vocabulary, which is something she struggles with. Just needs a little more practice. So this is giving us that extra practice. We've enjoyed this. She's also doing a Bible reading plan, which she just does in her room. So before she even comes out in the morning, she reads from her Bible that she keeps in there. And that's something that she's just been following along with. So she's doing really well with that as well. So as far as my son, this is his stack. This is basically what we're sticking with. He's doing language lessons for Living Education 2, math lessons for Living Education 2. He's doing some copy work, obviously working through our family studies. He's working through the nature readers. So for nature science, he's working through the nature readers. He's almost done with book 1, so I did grab him at book 2. And we read through that, and then he draws a picture and writes something from whatever we read. And then I grabbed this Nature Smarts workbook. This is for ages 7 to 9. Covers what you're going to learn about nature-themed outdoor. So there's some experiments. This is from the Mass Audubon, the environmental educators of Mass Audubon. And just a fun little easy workbook, just to get some additional nature science, because this is my science kid. He loves all things science. So those are just some extra things I grabbed for him. So we are working on a nature lesson every single day for him as well. We've kind of like fell into a groove as far as our schedule goes. We wake up and we have breakfast. We watch World Watch News, which is something we started at the beginning of the year. I absolutely love it, recommend it. That's been enjoyable and something the kids look forward to. Then we just come into our homeschool space, sit at the table and start with our family studies. So we work on family studies all the way up until lunch. Come lunchtime, 12 p.m., we take a lunch break. It can vary depending on, how long lunch takes, whatever. Sometimes the kids will work on some chores during that time. Then we'll come back and work on individual studies. That has worked well. As far as my kids, I work with my son, my youngest, first, while my daughter works through some independent stuff. And then I work with her after we get done with his. work. So that's worked well. If there's something she really needs a hand with, she kind of puts that to the side. Or if he's working on something more independent, I can sit with her for a moment. And that's kind of how our homeschool day goes. We've been ending the day around 2:30, which has been kind of our average. Now, on our third week of school, we did hit some sickness. So sickness went through the house. It hit me the hardest. So we did have a short week. And we did take the holiday, and we also took a field trip. So we took the field trip because we needed it after getting sick. So that was a shorter week, but we still got a lot done, so I can't really complain. But that's basically how our schedule has been. So we are reading The Railway Children currently. That is our read. We're also reading Mary Jones in her Bible. That is in Old English, so it is a little harder for my kids to understand, but we're reading that once a week. And we just finished Hero Over Here, or we finished this actually the first week of school. And we enjoyed this story. It was a unexpected story, but we enjoyed it. So that is it. That is all I have to say today, and all I have to share. So if you have any questions, if there's anything you're curious about that maybe I didn't touch on, let me know. I will be doing updates throughout the year. I'll probably come back with a term 1 update and share with you how that's been going. But we've enjoyed our art program. We're doing the art through master books, and that's been a lot of fun. And we do that on Fridays, and the kids have really enjoyed that. On Fridays, instead of reading our readers, we are just doing a picture book, and that's been fun. There are so many picture books we have that we want to read through again. It might have been a long time since we've read it originally, so I want my son to hear some of these stories. So we read Madeline, all of the things that we have been doing. We introduced him this week. We're just doing that through Ambleside. I was going to use a resource, but it's just so much easier. There's a lovely lady in the Ambleside community that sings the hymns that they have. So it's just easy for me to pull up that video. We sing along with her, and we do that every month. So we started that. Our civics has been going well. We started that unit early on, because of course we are in an election year. So I wanted them to just have more of an understanding, because they know what's going on. So I just want them to be a little more aware of what all this means, and that's basically it. That's what we're doing. Schedules have been good, keeps me on track as far as what we're going to do that day. So all of these schedules have basically stuck, so they're working out well. We have just yet to introduce our geography, so that will be something I bring in next week, and then we will bring in Spanish as well. So by next week we'll have a full schedule of all the, well, most of all the subjects we had intended to do, and I'm excited for it. So if you have any questions, if there's something I hadn't mentioned that you're curious about, let me know down below, and let me know how your year's going. Have you started, and have you had any hiccups? Because we definitely have had ours. So I'd love to know. Drop those down below, and I will see you on the next video. God bless, guys.